Welcome to Geopolitics Now. It's Thursday, October 9th. I'm Emma Albright. Today, Pierre Haski offers a note of caution on the news overnight that the first phase of a Gaza ceasefire has been sealed.
When America wants something, or rather, when Donald Trump wants something, it tends to happen. That's the real takeaway from the deal struck overnight in Egypt on the first phase of the Gaza ceasefire plan. This wasn't a hard-won compromise between Israel and Hamas, but the result of American muscle, backed by negotiators from Qatar, Egypt, and Turkey, which makes you wonder, why wasn't that same push used earlier to stop the suffering in Gaza? What matters most right now is that this deal should finally bring an end to the ordeal of the Israeli hostages. In the coming days, 48 hostages, alive or dead, will be released by Hamas and other Palestinian groups and returned to their families. They have spent 2 years in horrific conditions since being taken during the October 7th, 2023 massacre, and it's worth remembering that the taking of civilian hostages is a war crime. This release will lift a psychological barrier that had held Israelis back, allowing them at last to think about what comes next.
For what reasons?
As long as the hostages remained in captivity, few wanted to question Israel's strategy in Gaza, the future of the Palestinian territories, or Benjamin Netanyahu's responsibility for the failures of October 7th. Part of the country had been protesting loudly against the Prime Minister's approach, which never made the hostages' release a real priority. Political debates surfaced from time to time, but that barrier, the hostages, kept the national conversation from moving forward. On the Palestinian side, things are even more complicated. Hamas has been pushed into a corner by its regional backers, and especially Qatar and Turkey, and will find itself exposed once the hostage shield is gone. It will gain some advantage from the release of hundreds of Palestinian prisoners from Israeli jails and from the at least temporary halt to the bombings that have made life unbearable for Gaza's 2 million civilians. But what happens next is far from clear.
What could happen next?
If the first phase of the deal goes through, the next steps look far more uncertain. Trump's plan is both unrealistic and flawed, and it's hard to imagine the next stage being negotiated as quickly or as effectively as this one, which relied mostly on outside pressure to force the warring sides to move. The disarmament of Hamas, the creation of a provisional administration in Gaza made up of Palestinian technocrats and outside authorities, with Tony Blair envisioned as a kind of viceroy. All of it is complicated and hard to pull off. The next moves are once again Trump's to make in a world that seems to have slipped back into one ruled by brute force. Will he show the same determination to see this through, or let the crisis drift and risk sliding back toward war? There is little willingness to compromise, either within Netanyahu's coalition, which is on the verge of collapse, or within Hamas, weakened but still standing. That is the fragile reality of this moment. Its strength lies with the outside powers, the only ones able to exert real influence. For all its uncertainty, this remains a historic turning point. C'est la force et la faiblesse du moment, malgré tout historique.
Geopolitics Now is a World Crunch production. Automated speech technology was used for Pierre Haski's English voice. If you like this podcast, we'd really appreciate it if you could help us out with a follow, share, and a 5-star rating on your preferred podcasting platform. For more of the best of the international press, delivered exclusively in English, visit us at worldcrunch.com.